Hold on,
Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
well,
Yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island. I
I'm off as a smug cock when you said that.
never bite the hand that feeds you. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, and looking at my watch, it happens to 8 p.m. Eastern.
What a coincidence.
And what happens on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern for other folks that aren't on the Cash Flow Kings live?
Nothing good, I'll tell you that right now. They're off drinking.
Mhm.
They're smoking. They're at the club getting their eardrums blown out.
Ear health is something we take very cautiously here on the Cash Flow
Yep.
Kings live.
They might be hooking up in the bathroom of the nightclub.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's supporting Church and Dwight.
Yep.
Yep, one of those companies. I know that owns
Kimberly
Trojan.
Clark too. Kimberly
Clark. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely some pretty naughty things happening. But the real reason that we're happy, it's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a very interesting one tonight. We have lots of topics to discuss. And for the first time on the Cash Flow Kings, we will be hosting open viewer call-ins. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know if we'll get anybody. Will there be too many people? I don't know.
Rumor has it Dividend Talks is calling in tonight.
Oh. I can't confirm or deny, but welcome in, everybody. I saw Shamir was in here earlier. Digital Kunst. I'm going to work on pronouncing that without making it sound like an inappropriate body part. Shamir, welcome in. You know, whenever Shamir is here, it's a party. But Shamir's in here. CFK was never old and lousy. We're entering our prime. That's what I'm saying right now. We were in our rookie year.
That's what I tell myself all the time.
Exactly. We were in our rookie months. The Cash Flow Kings is now upgrading, though. We're a little sophisticated now. You see the new backdrop? We got a nice thing up to the upper right there, the Cash Flow Kings logo.
That's production value up there, ladies and gentlemen.
And we are now on Twitter or X, if whatever your little heart wants to call it. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, though. In all seriousness, it's Cash Flow Kings YT. I'm going to be posting out some fun stuff there. We'll say that. All right. Welcome in, everybody. We got CG in the chat, Beater Stocks, Stabulo. Where else would you be at 8 p.m.? I don't know. You could be selling your memberships. You could be doing a lot of other things right now, but it's all that matters is that you're here on the Cash Flow Kings live.
100%.
All right. So if any of you want to call in, there are a few rules. First of all, don't say or don't do anything that we wouldn't do. I like to think that we typically have a very loose barrier of things that we'll say on here. If you've been watching some of our late or after hour shows, you would know that for sure. Don't show anything that we wouldn't show on camera. If you guys, are going to show your faces, we respect that. We have a lot more respect for you, actually, if you do that. But if you don't, no discrimination. Don't bring up any crazy controversial topics without my permission. And, that's it. But if you do want to join, I essentially put the link up. It should be in a pinned comment or it's in the description box. We'll just let you in. You have about 10, 15-minute time, buzzer. So go for it. Matt comes in at the club. Nah, I'm driving Uber, making side hustle money to load up on that.
That Tesla, it's free money.
Yeah, it's definitely one could say that there's a 50-50 chance that Dividend Talks does call in.
Because he either will or will not.
Yeah.
There's
definitely.
two choices. It's always 50-50. That's how math works.
If he didn't take the monetary benefit to come in the first place, I don't know if he'd be coming on tonight on the Cash Flow Kings. I'm just saying, I don't know.
100%. Oh, so Shamir, to actually tonight, it's actually not Coke Zero. It's actually Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Berries and cream, zero sugar.
Yikes. I have water. Or maybe like half a gram of creatine left in there. Welcome in, everybody, though. We have it was a wild week, Fiscal. It felt like a pretty long week. We have a lot of topics. We have a lot of topics to discuss tonight. Could it be benching? Could it be you're not going to be seeing any more Joseph Carlson jokes on here? Could it be yield max? Could
All
it
of the
be
above. Ooh,
MPW? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that we are going to be talking about.
right. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm always game to talk benching because that's what I do best.
We discussed a lot of benching. A lot of a
And
lot of benching last.
you could say that I benched while wearing the
Ooh.
merch.
If you saw
Um,
that video, check out our shorts after this live.
yeah. Yep. I saw that you added the appropriate anthem.
I did. I went out of my way to do that. Yes.
Yep. It's a requirement. You are contractually obligated actually. If any video features me lifting anything heavy, you have to play the Natty anthem because it's out of respect for Rich Piana,
Yes. Rest in peace. It's Charlie
our
Munger.
favorite Natty vegan cross lifter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Calisthenics too.
Yeah.
And science-based lifter. If Dividend talks to you to put him between both of you. That'd be so funny.
that would be quite the get.
Dissector, you idiot. That's potentially quote of the year. I don't know if it's been submitted yet or whatever, but definitely potential quote of the year. I am on no camera, no mic setup right now, but might jump in. Yeah, we might. We don't know how often we'll be doing this. We're kind of, treading the waters tonight. I put it on the community posts. I also mentioned it in a video that I made regarding a cult. Now, Fiscal, what are your thoughts on cults? Not Blue Oyster.
Oh yeah. So cults in general, well,
Typically frowned beyond.
frowned upon. Yeah, well, you may know you're in a cult if they don't like outsiders, if they want to isolate you from everyone else, if other ideas are not welcome and are met with hostility, anything that threatens the
Ooh.
great leader or the big driving idea that they've all decided that they agree is the truth. If anybody comes in and says anything different, they have to be shunned.
And it's not just one leader sometimes. Sometimes it's a group of people, group of
Yeah.
elitists, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
People who are not too happy about actual investments, what we cover here on the Cash Flow Kings. We'll talk about that, you trust me. Asking a cult leader, Fisco, about a cult is funny. Hey, we both have our respected cults, but at least we don't ban people. I'm just saying. That's like the three aspects to a cult.
Wait, what am I the cult leader of?
MPW.
Oh, okay.
I'm Vici. You're
So
MPW.
it's not cigar butt falling knives method of investing cult.
Not
then.
specific. That's way too broad.
Okay, it's MPW then. Okay, gotcha.
Are you guys on a 5-second delay? I don't think we are. I don't know how much the delay is.
The best chest you're gonna get on tonight's show is probably mine.
Yeah.
Looks better in the merch.
It definitely. I can attest to that. Give me your money.
100%.
But let's talk a little bit about the recent situation. So if you guys are once again following us, not on Twitter, do it right now. Cashflow Kings YT on Twitter. You may have seen that I made an open call out to this guy called We the Commerce. And if you guys would have watched our show a few weeks ago, we kind of prank called the guy. We did like a live prank on him. We went on his Discord. He came after one of our members, Dissector. So we went on one of his live streams and we commented that, Tesla isn't real man's investing. It's not cash flow is king investing. That's for sure. And so essentially this week I was alerted by, our only female viewer on the channel. It's all good. Soul Search KLL, that he had made a video, basically reacting to mine. And I don't know about you, Fiscal, but if somebody's going to be using my pretty face and my pretty mouth and the moneymaker for words or for personal profit, I'd like to react to it a little more myself to, squeeze that, get that last cigar butt out. So I went on the Discord. So like the very rational person I am, you guys, I confronted him and I came out in a pretty respectful manner, if you know me relatively. And I just wanted the video public. I just wanted to see it myself, see if there were any harsh words, any criticisms. So apparently once it got wind to him, for anybody who doesn't know, he put the video up for like about 2 minutes on Monday and then he deleted it. So I could only watch like 2 minutes of it. So I saw enough to say where he was questioning whether dividends were free money or not. And then I was And then I lost a lot of yeah, a lot of, I don't want to say respect for the guy, but you know, if you're arguing that dividends are free money, you're also pumping a stock on your channel where you talk about free money, not a good look. And we could talk about the cult like behavior recently, but essentially, if you guys are following us on Twitter already at Cashflow Kings Live on YT, essentially earlier today, I made a bit of a call out. I said, we the commerce, I said, come onto the live, see what happens. I said, official offer to come onto the live. I said, I wonder if he will. He responds, thank you for the offer, but I am really a nobody. I have no expertise in this area. He wants us to go out of these nobodies that, wouldn't bring in the viewership. There are a lot of high dividend yield YouTubers. Good luck. Now, Fiscal, I didn't run cross country in college or high school, as a matter of fact. I'm
Yeah, I
not
didn't
used to
either.
that level of running. So I don't know what it's like. In all seriousness, though, we were really looking forward to having a potential, real conversation with him. But
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah, and that's the thing. I haven't made any, like, I think my thoughts on Tesla are pretty, and Yield Max in general are pretty well known, but I haven't made a negative video on the topic of Yield Max or Tesla yet. And
yes.
hey, I'm open to having my mind changed if somebody, makes a convincing argument. And also, like, if he has no business coming on and discussing it, why is he making videos about it?
And making a very heavy branded YouTube channel around Yield Max. Look, I'm not gonna call out somebody. I'm not trying to be a dick or whatever, but this is a thing where you could like actually have people lose a lot of money, and we're gonna talk more
Mhm.
about this.
Right.
This is we promote real man's investing. We promote a process, finding good quality businesses. This is the other
Or
end of the
Starbucks.
spectrum. Or Starbucks, yes. And I'm just saying, if you have a big community where a lot of people are listening to you, a lot of people value what you have to say, and you are making statements about yield max and how you're very bullish on it and you're buying a lot of it, and then you come out kind of flip flop, as you said before, flip flop. You come out, you flip flop a little bit. I know nothing. I'm not a professional. You could rather watch me make money or watch me lose it all. And that's words he's used before. I just don't think that's morally, correct, man.
I
It's
suspect
unfortunate.
that we will watch him lose it all. I suspect.
Unfortunately, it appears there's a good chance. It
Yeah.
appears there's a good chance. No, but in all seriousness, like this is a little concerning, and we're definitely. I'm hoping one of these yield max. I'm hoping if anybody knows somebody that is one of these, cult leaders in yield max, bring him in here. I was hoping maybe they'd come on, but
Yeah.
appears they're a lot of them like to stay in their voice
So
chats and not
I'm
talk. So,
I'm the thing that concerns me, and I haven't watched Khmer's videos at all, but
good man.
I strongly suspect that a lot of the people pumping the yield max ETFs, they may not even understand the options that are being used by the fund managers to begin with. And I think that's a big issue. Like the way I see it is this: if you understand the options process that they're using and think it's going to be profitable in the long run, and you understand it well enough to invest in it, you should be doing it yourself and not giving them 1% to do it for you. And if you
Mhm.
don't understand it, you shouldn't be buying into it in the first place. That's
Well, unfortunately, that's
that's
not how
my
investing works these days,
that's
fiscal.
my stance. Like, that's unless your time is so valuable that you want to give up. I mean, 1% of funds under management being taken, that's like mutual fund level fees on those ETFs. So
Mhm.
like it's not like they're charging 0.06% like VOO. They're charging a full 1% of assets under management. Even if they're down, they still take their 1% right off the top. So if you're underperforming, you're going to go even deeper in the red because they're going to take their fee no matter what.
What could
So
possibly go wrong?
yeah, so that there's just, I feel like there's a lot of reasons to not like it versus like it. Okay,
Well, that's
just
why
I
that's
just
why it's them
I
versus
just
the world
Dividend dude just fact checked me on the
on this.
no,
Oh,
down.
oh, Vu.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
even better, right? 3%. So it's even less. I think I might have been mixing it up with SPY. I think SPY is a little higher than VOO, but Yeah.
I saw this topic come up from Nate, who is our favorite carnivore on the channel. Gen X Dividend Investor believes that the next decade will be the decade of the dividend. So is SHT a buy?
I mean, you could pick your own dividend stocks. You don't need the editors of the Wall Street Journal to do it for you.
Hey, I'm just saying this with SCHD. I think it's a good ETF. If I made an investment, I'm gonna say this, and it's not gonna be popular. I think right now it is a very easy time to shit on SCHD, looking at the S&P 500 and everything. People should have kept that same energy 9 months ago when it was outperforming. I'm just saying. But in all seriousness, I think we need to see on a longer time horizon. I'm still bullish on some of the assets, maybe except Verizon. Who
Mm.
knows? That'll recover. AT&T going down this week, that'll help Verizon. I just think it's very easy for one. I felt like it was just a year ago. People were hyping up SCHD. It was outperforming. Dividend growth, dividend yield. It has everything. And when nothing, fundamentally changes with the ETF and you're switching, flip flopping like that, I just think for a lot of people, don't be flip flopping. Eddie comes in, another frequent on the channel. I've watched Commerce Live before, entertaining and it's cool. In the stream itself, there are some intelligent individuals that know the option chain, all that jazz. My issue is, and I'm going to get to this because this is something that's like legitimately concerning. The cult like behavior that I had to witness and endure in that Discord was alarming. And there's a whole other Discord that I was invited to that is literally people that have been banned and like thrown away from that server for not agreeing with Yield Max or not having that same, cult like mindset or whatever. I swear to God. And it's very alarming. And the reason I bring it up is because I was doing some more due diligence. I was watching one of these live streams, and there was a guy who clearly had an intellectual disability on the live stream, and they're edging him on. Commerce, this guy who he probably looks up to. He doesn't know any better. That Commerce he doesn't know anything. Let's be honest. He doesn't know any better. So I think, and the guy could be investing on tens, hundreds of dollars for all I know. It's very alarming who people who are vulnerable to it. That's another huge thing that I wanted to mention.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you watch, of course, if you watch my channel, you'll just get the idea that everybody should go all in MPW. Apparently,
Definitely. Yeah, I get the point. He can't be saying he's flip flopping though when he talks about himself being like a brand new investor and that it sucks. Like, but he's also making these like outlandish claims and stuff that like Tesla's gonna outperform and like it's this crazy income for him. Dividends are free money. Like, and you have a
yeah.
following and people are listening to you in a serious
Yeah,
context, like, yeah,
if
come on.
you're making the video about an investment, you need to be honest about what the downsides are and what And I think he may just not adequately understand what the downsides are to investing in yield max.
Really?
I think that's an issue. Like certainly, I think that nobody would disagree that um, sometimes I buy. You could call them falling knives, right? And there's a risk when you buy something that's dropping a lot that it could drop more as you keep buying it. And I think if you don't tell people that and you're just like, "Oh yeah, this is great."
Not
Oh, technical difficulty. Oh, dang. All right, well, anyway, yeah, if you don't tell people and you just paint the rosy picture, but you don't give any of the drawbacks, yeah, I think that there's an issue with that too. Oh man, I hope he's okay. For CFK drama. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, dang, dang, dang. Yeah.
fucking dumbasses needing to come down during my time. Not happening. Welcome everybody. Dividend talks. I was hearing some knocking on the other window here, and I thought it was dividend talks. My apologies.
No,
My
it
apologies, everybody.
I yeah, I thought he came to get you. I was like, all right, I'm booking the next flight out there. I've gotta back up my homie.
Yeah, if any of you guys call 911, my apologies there. Uh SHC reconstruction is next month. And I'm curious myself to see what happens because there's been rumblings that SHC is going to let more growth focused, but I will see. It's also going to be interesting to see the dividend amount for SCHD for a little bit, because Home Depot this week, if you guys saw, 7.7% increase. They also have other holdings that have aggressively grown the dividend. So
Yeah.
more companies are increasing the dividend. SCHD, baby.
Yeah, I bet they'll copy a bunch of what I put in my SCHD destroyer.
Nobody likes a bragger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, DT did get to me. Tesla is very sketchy by watching it. I think the only way it works if this one buys on a huge Tesla dip and sells on the high. Yeah. But for all that, just to trade Tesla. Like, a lot of people just think it's free money. Like, it
Yeah,
hurts your head sometimes.
they literally think that the distribution is safe, and I don't know how they think that it's safe at that level and sustainable. Like, you may have periods of time where you do get a lot of yield on it and the price doesn't drop and whatever, but the stock has to move a very specific way for them to do well over a long period of time. And volatile stocks aren't they're volatile. Like, you can't predict,
Believe it
like,
or not.
they'll have these random drops out of nowhere or these random spikes, and then they miss out on the upside because they've capped it because they're an options play. Yeah.
And I see a lot of these investors too bringing up the NVIDIA Yield Max Fund too right now, because it's like NVIDIA's decided just to
Yeah.
forget valuation for time being. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Look, you can pay 500 times their free cash flow. As long as they keep as long as they keep growing forever, it'll be worth it someday.
we have 24 of you guys in here. Smash the like button. We can get to 40 people tonight. I'll do some heinous things on live. Well, if you
Save
guys
it
haven't already, though, smash the like button.
save it for after hours.
Yeah, wait till we get the after hour show going, everybody. We got to get the tier 1 monetization. Bad things are going to happen. But once again, if you guys are welcome and new here, first off, I want to say, look at the pinned comment or in the description box. We are hosting open call-ins all throughout the night, discussing any topic, debating any topic, doing whatever your little heart desires. Come on to the Cash Flow Kings. If it's your dream, come on. No one predicted the future. I look at my continued buying the dip on MPW as a mistake, but luckily I do not need the money I have invested, and I have time for recovery to play out. Yeah, long-term time horizon.
Yeah. And I kind of agree with you. Like, yeah, um I've been staring at a giant red mark in the portfolio for a while, but I kept buying even when it was like at that low it was at, and it looks a lot better than it did because I got a bunch of really cheap shares. So that kind of works out. It worked out for me with Intel as well. So yeah, just don't be so short-term focused.
No.
If you've come up with an investment thesis on something and you think you're right about the valuation, don't let a price drop by itself without some other context deter you.
Speaking of people being right and other people being wrong, what an eventful week. Joseph Carlson. There's going to be no more Joseph Carlson jokes on the channel, guys.
Mm,
Some interesting stuff went down this
that's
week.
true. That's true.
I'm not going to expose the DMs. That's channel members only. Well, eventually, one day.
Yep.
But in all seriousness, if we want to talk about a chat, I'm happy to. If anybody's
So
curious
we
and
need
haven't
we need
heard,
to. It only buying the dip only works on good companies like Crocs.
funny
Yeah.
joke.
So I guess Intel's a good company then. Thank you.
Patty Gelsinger.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Crocs mentioned my dividend to drink. Yeah, we got to do a drinking game every time Crocs is mentioned.
Cheers.
But fiscal.
Yeah, buddy.
MPW reported earnings this week.
That's true. That's true.
And I don't know if the people didn't see, but your chat was popping off a little bit. It was a
Yeah,
little
yeah. I did
before
a
Cash Flow Kings live.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
I did a live on my regular channel, and I got close to 100 concurrent live viewers on that thing, and it went for 3 hours before it started to like really drop off. So, yeah, there's a lot of interest from retail investors in MPW, you could say.
We're starting a cult here on the channel, guys. We're starting a cult.
Yeah.
But could you recap the earnings for some people who
Sure.
rather Any
Sure.
any any of the big highlights, the big bulletin
Yeah,
points.
the big highlights. Well, so for like everybody that slid in there for like just a minute to check in, they did not say definitively what the future of the dividend was during the quarterly earnings. The dividend, like the board meets every so often and votes and declares the dividend or doesn't, right? So they didn't reveal that on the earnings. They said, and I'll quote Ed Aldag, the policy remains unchanged. So for whatever that means. Um, so it seemed like they were soft confirming that the dividend's probably gonna be a go for the next quarter, but they didn't. I don't think they wanted to say 100% one way or the other because they've got a lot of irons in the fire right now, and anything could happen in the next few weeks. Um, with their largest tenant, Steward Healthcare. They're working with Steward's other asset-based lenders to basically get them through the process of, it seems like, transferring some hospitals in Massachusetts potentially to some other operators. The government in Massachusetts wants it. Turns out Steward actually had asked them last year about transferring some hospitals out of their name, and they I don't know, they didn't get back. They weren't interested in engaging in that conversation until recently. And regulators unfortunately have to be involved in a lot of that type of thing because hospitals are very heavily regulated. I know, shocker.
Oh,
Imagine that, government red tape and regulation getting in the way of efficiency.
it's
But
Lena Khan's fault, I'm sure.
yeah, probably. But anyways, so there's kind of like a plan with Steward, and any other support or whatever is going to be tied to milestones that they have to achieve. Uh, MPW is getting regular cash flow statements directly from Steward to make sure that they're on track and everything like that. So yeah, it's possible Steward goes bankrupt, but if they do, I still don't think MPW does, because those hospitals will need to be switched to other operators because literally the places where they are cannot afford to have them closed. The other hospitals will be overwhelmed. It will be an absolute disaster. So,
Hmm.
um, and they also switched Steward and Prospect, which was the other one that was behind on rent last year. They switched them to cash basis accounting. So now when they release earnings, it will be very clear if they actually got the cash rent or not. Because on accrual accounting, it's like they can recognize the income without actually having gotten the cash. And that makes it look not transparent. Like that was a big criticism they got last year. And I think they've heard the message loud and clear. And I think they've done a lot towards the whole transparency thing. I kind of wish Jordan was on here with us to see what his opinion is on if the transparency stuff has gotten better as of late.
Nobody likes people who aren't transparent. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah. But other things they're working on, liquidity. So they're looking at, so a lot of their debt is actually unsecured. So they're looking at taking out secured debt and possibly selling assets, like a mixture of both, in order to. They have a lot of debt maturing next year in 2025, and they want to get ahead of that and have enough liquidity to pay off those maturities. Secured debt at this point in time is more practical than unsecured because of the difference in interest rates. Interest rates will be higher on unsecured debt, and they don't view that as a realistic thing to refinance unsecured debt right now. They said they're pretty confident in Steward being able to resume full cash rent payments by June, according to this plan that they're on. So that's going to be interesting to see if that plays out. I think if that plays out, we could see some big movement. Also, they did not give full year guidance because of how many things are going on right now. Like, who knows which things they're going to sell specifically, because they have a lot of interest in different assets, and it's not clear which deals they're going to, which deals are going to go through, because they're in early stage talks on a lot of it. So they don't want to give full year guidance on what they expect revenue or earnings or funds from operations to be,
Mm-hmm.
which is understandable. But basically, it was sort of, I would call it a mixed earnings, right? So I think that's why because it wasn't bad, so the stock price didn't like really crash, but it like wasn't like, all right, everything's perfect and great. So obviously that's why the stock price didn't jump. It kind of stayed the same. It went up a little bit, I
Yeah,
think.
5%.
Yeah. But it didn't really just go absolutely bananas in either direction, because I think they still left quite a few question marks, and I think people are sort of waiting to see how certain things go before they either push their chips in or fold.
The MPW saga is like a one big giant blackjack game. And if all goes to plan, you're hoping for 21.
Ah,
Uh,
I don't view it that way.
Uncle Cody comes in and says, "Is Ryan going to buy Google for the AI?" Uncle Cody was not happy. I wasn't reading his comments. My apologies. We actually have a show. We actually have people watching now. Sorry, Cody. I'm not going to buy Google for the AI. I already have plenty of AI exposure through various high tech AI leading companies. A few of those being Kroger, McDonald's, and Starbucks. So I get all the AI exposure I need through those. And then he also asked, they are through the ones that figure out Wall Street inventory. Yeah. In all seriousness, though, it's been an interesting week for a lot of reasons, but NVIDIA, we got to talk about
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go over Nate's comment.
Yeah. MPW has had hospitals go bankrupt in the past. The main thing is the short and distort campaign by Viceroy. Hopefully the lawsuit settles in. So, yeah, they actually had an operator actually go bankrupt in the past, and it was a thing where they restructured, and they're actually still paying the back rent that they owe MPW. So the master leases that MPW has are pretty robust. So it's not a thing where like if an operator declares bankruptcy and has to go through a restructure where it's like, oh, sorry, you just don't get rent anymore. Like that's not exactly how it works in the healthcare industry. It seems like, um, and that's kind of all detailed in other videos and everything like that. But yeah, Nate is correct about that.
A little
Ooh.
disappointing nobody's joined in yet.
Any thoughts on NYCB? Is that bank?
I'll fact check you there.
Yeah. I don't I haven't been following it closely. I heard there was like a lot of insider buying.
New
Uh,
York Community Bank, yes.
they were worried about there was some worry that they might be the next like Silicon Valley, and but there's been insider buying, and so some people are now thinking, no, if it was gonna be liquidated, insiders wouldn't be buying. So I'm I'm interested in taking a look at it. I just have not yet, so I cannot in good conscience give an opinion on that one right now.
We're speaking of AI stocks. We have Chipotle and Texas Roadhouse that are AI stocks.
They're the obvious AI plays, yes.
Those are
Um,
definitely realty, not reality income at a 6% dividend yield. It's interesting. I think at 45, it becomes like a must. Like I can't say no to
mhm.
that. But I mean, like there's just I'd rather interest rates are pretty much the entire reason that REITs are falling right now. So I mean, I'd rather just buy Vici if
Yeah.
the price
Yeah,
action
but
is kind of similar.
yeah, at $45, it's like having a party with Bill Cosby, you just can't say no.
Cash flow kings after the 30-minute marks. This is what happens when nobody comes in. Nobody comes into the
I
live and
I
calls
start
in.
I start going wild. Oh, the viewership jumped
Whoa!
after I said that.
Right as I said that, we have our first guest of the show. It's Gabriel Bernard. Welcome in.
Yo, MPW going to zero, bro.
Alright, cool.
Oh, our first season's greetings.
Nah, just
That's
chilling.
fun. Yeah.
Did he leave?
I guess. I guess you just wanted to say MPW going to 0. Was that Fraser John pairing in disguise?
Dang.
More short
Yeah.
and distort? Are they sending him to the live show?
Where'd he go? I didn't kick him. You didn't kick him either.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I wouldn't. I was interested in hearing why he thought that was the case.
He just said he's. That's interesting. Our first troll on the Cash Flow Kings live. Everybody, welcome in. Welcome in.
He
All
was
right.
sent by Viceroy.
Yeah, we need more. If we have like so we got the MPW, we got the MPW trolls. We need the Tesla people to come in next and we like actually need him, I will give you. I can't say maybe
Guys,
a
this is why
Starbucks.
we need a behind the scenes person to screen these people. We don't want to get the crazies.
Yeah, that was our first. That was our first interesting call. Yeah, that was. This is interesting. I feel like humbled and also
They
a
did,
little.
they didn't even like insult me for not wearing a real shirt. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
They didn't say they should have come in and be like, I can bench more than you, and I'd be like, I bet you can't.
MPW is gonna buy me a house when the short squeeze starts. We're getting a
That's what I like.
documentary made on the Cash Flow Kings. I'm telling you guys.
Ah, man, I like. Hey, I promise I'll wear the merch in Congress. Okay.
You just won't wear a shirt. You won't wear a suit. You'll just wear a nice shirt.
It'll be their privilege to have me in there looking like this.
Indeed. With the merch, a lot of things can happen. Once again, if you guys haven't already checked out that short, do it after this, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
We also got some viewer questions this week. If you guys didn't know, essentially we have, viewer submitted questions over on the Discord, link in the description, I'm sure. This week we only have 2 questions, but they're 2 really good ones, and I'm looking forward to answering them right now. Guff asks, is the pace of the 2024 stock market making me nervous? Nervous I can't buy more, if anything.
No, I mean, there's really nothing about the overall stock market in general that makes me nervous, because I just try to pick what I think are the best deals that I can identify at the given time. So, yeah.
You're gonna give John Fetterman a run for his money as the most dressed member of the Senate.
Yeah. I mean, should I run? Like, I think there's still time to put my hat in the ring for Prez. I'm over 35.
I could be your hype man.
Yeah.
We have 28 people come to our rally. You guys all come to the rally. We'll start it.
Dude, if you guys think Trump puts on a rally, I'll put on a rally. Just saying. We'll put instead of a podium, we'll have a bench. And I'll challenge everybody in Congress to a push-up contest.
Indeed. And we also have another question from Dividend Dude. Where do we see cash flow kings in 2025? You can mean a couple things by 2025. We'll assume January.
Okay. So definitely over 1,000 subs. Definitely a bunch of members. Hey, maybe I'll maybe MPW will go to the moon and I'll buy us a studio.
Ryan doesn't go to college. Fiscal retires me early. MPW. We are making. I can say this, everybody. There is MPW merch in the process, in the making. Once we hit that 500 mark, and I think you guys will like it, I can truthfully say
it's going to be very impressive. I will try to hit a new level of bench press in that merch.
Yeah. We also next week, Fiscal, do we have confirmed that we have somebody who has 50,000 plus shares of MPW coming onto the live?
He sounds like he's ready to go for it. Now I will be out of town, but I'll make sure to connect the two of you together so that you can make sure that he's ready, and send him the link and everything like that.
Oh, you won't be here next week?
No, I'll be here.
Oh,
I'll be on. I'll be on, but I won't be in my in my room that I make my videos out.
Your manager role.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll be out of town and a little bit out of sorts.
That's okay though. The Cash Flow Kings is all about your mind. If you bring your mind, you'll get the grind. In all seriousness though, for Cash Flow Kings in 2025, definitely 1K. I didn't think we'd have it when we started, but we've actually grown like really solidly recently because you guys have all smashed the like button for us right now. But no, we've been milking the algorithm. Hopefully we'll file an LLC at some point. The Cash Flow Kings Real Man's Investing LLC.
Yep. It's going to be a real man's business.
Indeed. Will we pay taxes? Only channel members will find out.
It's going to be the Berkshire Hathaway of YouTube finance channels.
That's for sure. We'll acquire dividend, dude. $15. $15 for all copyright rights. I look for the best deals I can find. I'm up with MPW. MPW to zero is fake news. That guy was interesting. I wasn't expecting a troll. I thought he'd come on for a civil. That was kind of funny though. He's like MPW to zero. No, I'm just trolling. Then he leaves. Oh, okay.
At least he didn't whip his dick out.
Can't say that while I'm drinking water.
Sorry.
That's true. That was one of the concerns that we did have about the Cash Flow Kings viewer call-in show. But you know, that's a way to view a thing in a positive light for sure. What's the spark notes why MPW is down? It's down because it's bad. That's
so
the dividend.
Yeah, I guess probably there's a handful of factors all kind of working against it at the moment, right? All REITs in general kind of got hit with interest rate hikes. Interest rate hikes are bearish for REITs in general, so they got hit there. They're heavily shorted, 35% sold short right now. And the people who are doing the shorting they've been like waging this ridiculous social media campaign against the stock to convince people it's going to zero. And the facts of like what their balance sheet looks like would seem to indicate that them going to zero is extremely unlikely. But they have a very good incentive to try to sell people on the fact that they think it's going to zero. So, and gosh, and they do have they have a couple of tenants that have had some like bad financial issues in the aftermath of the pandemic. And it's stuff that like it's taken some time to kind of play out and show up in some cases. But yeah, basically in the wake of the pandemic, nurse wages went through the roof. And unfortunately, like Medicare and Medicaid, which some of these hospitals get 70% of their billings from Medicare and Medicaid, those reimbursements have not grown at the rate that like wages have grown. So they're having trouble like making ends meet because of that. Now, luckily they have started to get back to where they can afford to do like elective procedures and stuff for cash customers and private insurance customers, which pay a lot more and are much more profitable than a lot of the stuff that they do for Medicare and Medicaid, which is more just bare bones, essential stuff that doesn't pay much. And that's helping, but it's also like Medicare and Medicaid really need to bump those payouts, and they just need to get a lot of turnover in, like a lot of people in the door for those elective procedures they've been pushing off. They got to, get that cash in the door. And it's like kind of they're in a really weird crunch right now. The healthcare systems that are struggling financially. And since those people are the ones that pay rent to MPW, their struggle is, viewed as like a bearish thing for MPW.
Definitely
bearish. I think those are really like the main things.
Yeah. Fiscal's copywriting thumbnails. Yeah.
I should.
One day.
If I got royalties on all the times that somebody ripped off my thumbnail and used it, I could probably retire now.
We'd have like multiple LLCs. The Real Man's Investing LLC. This is all the delusional MPW pack holders make me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of funny. The whole novel, not the spark notes. Yeah. I mean, I did a 5-minute summary of their earnings report. So, like, if you want to know how they're doing, I mean, it actually ended up being a little over 6 minutes, but it's close enough. If you want the spark notes, go to my channel and watch that video.
You look at hours of content. Nobody's coming in here. Nobody wants to talk to us. Get somebody from the Yield Max server to come in. I was kind of anticipating somebody from the Yield Max. We set the betting odds at plus 250 to come on for somebody that Yield Max.
I do think that'll make a funny clip though. The guy just like darting in here, MPW going to zero, and then like just bailing.
That'll be a good short, actually. Thinking of it now.
Yeah, gotta think. How can we milk this for content?
Definitely. That's our entire life. Is how do we milk this for content? 31 of you on here. Smash the like button. That's all we ask. We can't milk you guys for money yet. You just wait. You guys just wait. We
Don't
spent
worry.
the whole $19 on this StreamYard
Hey.
Premium for this pretty setup we have.
Speaking of milking, I've heard you can milk anything with nipples. Is that true?
Indeed.
I have nipples. Can you milk me?
Buy the merchant. Buy the merchant.
Buy the
Anything
merch,
can
find
happen.
out.
Buy the merch. Oh, what a good question. How many consecutive beers can you smash, Fiscal?
Oh boy. I mean, look, so currently I barely drink. In my early
Man.
20s though, my I'll answer this with a short story since you like my novels. So I'll give you a novella. I went to this tavern called the Olympic Tavern, and I was there with my dad. We had been working on one of our rental properties. It was hot. It was the summer. There was no air conditioning in this place. There was nobody occupying it. It was between tenants. We go to this tavern and we order a pitcher of this beer called Fat Tire. It's very nice, by the way. If you've never had Fat Tire, by the way, not sponsored, but it's pretty good beer.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I need to go use the restroom. And he goes to presumably do a number one in there. By the time he gets back, the pitcher's gone. I consumed all of it. So, I mean,
Ooh.
that's pretty good, right? That's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know how many beers that is, but it's a lot.
I just don't see other finance channels doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, but now as like a more mature adult, I've had the same 4 bottles of Dos Equis in my fridge for like 6 months now.
It's good, man. Save it for a special occasion.
I guess.
NVIDIA this week, though. I'll talk about special occasion. NVIDIA this week. Let's properly talk about it. I was up about 15% last time I saw. The S&P 500 that day was up something ridiculous too. NVIDIA appears to be on a bit of a choo-choo.
Yeah, I actually have a good friend that was he's got a finance degree and we talk about these things sometimes. And we've been talking about, because he's been doing a lot of options stuff lately. And we've been talking about maybe it's time to start writing strangles on NVIDIA, because then any major swing in the price up or down, you make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We got another guest in. Before we get to that, we got double D's in the chat, and it's not dividend, dude. It's dividend data. It's NVIDIA bubble. Yeah, probably, to be honest.
Yes, it is. So that's one thing that's funny. So I like, because everything money gets crap for their NVIDIA short, right? I agree that it's overpriced, but I would never short it. Like, it's such a bad idea, because you can't really know when or if in any time in the near future, if that momentum's ever going to go the other way.
That CEO and his nice luscious head of hair too. I wouldn't want to short that. We got our second guest of the night in though, and it's not a troll. It's Digital Kunst, and I hope I said that right, because I'm very close to getting just copyrighted on that. Welcome in.
Hi, greetings. Yeah, and you don't know if I'm not a troll, MPW to 0. No, I'm kidding.
Get out of here with that.
Welcome in, though. I remember you from the MPW debate in the comment section.
Also, one of my longest time Discord members. How many were in my Discord when you first joined?
I couldn't tell you. 10 to 20 people or something.
Yeah, it was. I think it was less than 20. He's literally one of the OGs.
Yeah.
Where was I at, Fiscal? I was pretty early.
Yeah. Well, I think I joined yours first.
Yeah.
And you joined mine back as like a courtesy.
Yeah. Nice little handshake. Digital, do you have any conversation topics that you'd like, or any questions that any MPW discussion for more views, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that topic has been how do you say that, dried? Talked a lot about.
Milked.
I think both sides are pretty well known. I mean, I don't know. I am very long tobacco for many years now. Maybe that is a point of interest. Do you have any opinions on that?
Fiscal, you want to go first?
You take it, buddy.
I mean, I just don't know regarding like MPW.
No,
Yeah.
tobacco stocks. Altria, British American Tobacco. Philip
Oh,
Morris.
okay. I
Yeah.
thought
So BTI would be our ticker. It's BATS on the London stock exchange. It's BTI on the American stock
Okay.
exchange.
So my one thing with BTI is that they have a pretty much an international fee whenever you get the dividend. Fiscal, you own BTI, right?
Yes, I do. That's kind of why I wanted to hear your take first, because you obviously have gone with Altria Group, but not BTI. But I
Yeah.
have both, so I was kind of curious about your take on why you prefer Altria Group.
One, I think I bought Altria at a time in my investing journey where it was a lot more appealing than we're now, but I'm still at a point where I think it still meets the qualifications to be on my portfolio. The fee, the pounds and US dollars things with BTI, I'm just not a huge fan of that. It's not a complete turnoff, but qualitatively, also, I know I'm pretty sure a good amount of their market would be in Britain. I know they're making a huge concentrated effort. If somebody wants to fact check me in the comments on how much the UK sales for BTI, but
No. BTI is like, they're global. They're
okay. That's what
there is widespread. I would say, like, I don't know if it's an exact one for one comparison, but they sell stuff in the US too, to my understanding. So
Yeah.
okay, good.
yeah.
They
So
acquired Newport. So
yeah.
very
So
cool.
they are literally like a global thing. So they're like both, like if you had Altria and Philip Morris International come together, BTI would be a competitor to that combined entity.
Okay.
So
Wow.
and the reason I personally liked BTI, so I like Altria because I think they've got the best brands for domestic US, bar none. Probably the best chance to really get a foothold, I think, on the vaping. I think they've got that down now with Enjoy. And I think they're also the best positioned if something happens with cannabis in North America to take advantage of that. So those potential upsides are kind of why I liked Altria. And then for the international piece, I thought BTI might be better than PM because BTI valuation wise looks a lot more attractive than PM. So, and there's a lot more growth opportunities in emerging markets for just all nicotine products, not just tobacco, not just vaping, but all nicotine products. In developing countries, as their middle classes go from these tiny little slivers of the population to bigger slivers, they'll want some vices. They'll want to do the bad things instead of watching Cash Flow Kings. They'll want to smoke they'll want to smoke their cigarettes. They'll want to, suck on their vapes, chew their chewing tobacco, do their nicotine pouches, all that stuff.
Yes, I was fact checked there. I have no familiarity with BTI's business. I assume that they were.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. Like Fiscal said, they are like literally competing with Philip Morris and Altria, basically anywhere. So they are selling Lucky Strike, Camel, Newport, around the globe.
Yeah. So I felt like I got closer to having like the whole tobacco pie by getting the two best values in big tobacco, which I think Altria and BTI were the two best values and offered the most for my investment dollar. So that's why I went with those two. And
I'll say this too, and
pretty well.
Yeah, I'll say this too. And this is probably the main reason, besides it not being a British company or whatever I was saying. But essentially, I'm 18, so at this point, like tobacco companies are probably not my main focal point of investing. But I think Altria is so undervalued of where I think it's about, as we talked about yesterday, Fiscal. I think that's like 50. If it's actually trading in its cash flows like properly, which it never will, but $50, $60 range for sure. And at the time where I bought Altria, I had a due diligence to make it about like 2.5% to 3% of the portfolio max. And at this point, it just wouldn't make any sense for you to buy more Philip Morris or BTI. Philip Morris, though, is interesting, though, because they have Zyn, which is huge with my generation in North America, which I morally kind of don't agree with, but I see the appeal. It's trending or from an investor perspective, I think Philip Morris with Zyn is an interesting thing to keep in mind. Is Double D. So.
I personally I don't take any kind of morals into account when it comes to.
Yeah.
I view them as streams of cash flow and not too much else.
Cold, calculated, and emotionless, is one investor once said.
100%. But yeah, I definitely, I really love the strong cash flow of the legacy tobacco companies and the strong potential of vaping and newer product lines. So, and I think they've got the cash flow to give me a pretty good return over years. And I don't think they're going away entirely in the next couple decades at all. Not even, just regular smoking. I think they'll hit some kind of a bottom and kind of plateau eventually.
I think Ultra, if you look at like my other buys, like what I'm doing right now, if you tune into the weekly recap every Sunday, like Ultra is like an outlier from my top 10 holdings probably right now. So, I mean, it just doesn't completely align with my investing strategy, and it's a totally different play from what I'm focusing on now, but I'm still remain consistent to my original thesis.
I mean, you could call them a cigar butt, but that last puff is really quite the last puff.
Yeah, if you secure it at a decent price too, like $39, you're getting that yield already on top of the total return. Whew.
And the buybacks, dude. The
buybacks long term.
Come on, who doesn't love buybacks?
That's a confirmation bias I needed to hear. I'm I'm buying them since I think 2019, and I'm really confused because my thesis was, I want the brand power, the fact that the price increases offset the smoke declines, all that stuff, the duopoly you essentially have, and everything is playing out exactly like I thought. The cash flows keep rising even, but the stocks get cheaper even. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. I keep buying. I have a huge chunk now.
All right, I'm gonna
to this. I'm not personally. I know they are associated with high dividends because they decide to, they don't want to keep the cash on their books. I don't really count. For me, that's not the reason I bought them. Like looking at the dividends, I'm buying the cash flow.
Yep. And, I'm 100% with you. The reason that this is just frustrating because historically, obviously they do trade at a high dividend yield, but if Ultra was like actually trading and it's fair or like near it at least, like they'd probably be trading like somewhere between like a 5 and 6% dividend yield, 4 and 6%, maybe 4 at the lowest or dividend yield, but like just because the stock price went down and nothing's like fundamentally changed with the business doesn't make it a yield trap. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if they blew like 13 billion on Juul, I think that is punished for,
Yeah, that too.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like that was certainly a blunder by management. But my hope, and I think this is starting to show. I think they learned their lessons from Juul, and Enjoy is playing out a little bit better. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Tobacco companies will continue to pivot their business. This is why they're expanding into vaping and smokeless options.
One thing I want to say, one of my first. This is actually my 10th subscriber. That's who that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was I like the 15th? I was early.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I try to stop calling them tobacco companies now, and I just call them nicotine companies because a lot of their products now don't even involve tobacco.
Yeah. Nate says if we head into a recession, then smoking will increase. I'll say this too. During 2022, Altria displayed some really nice pricing power, and they held up.
The whole Corona thing, you could sleep on them, no problem.
Yeah.
It was really fantastic.
He says vaping and smokeless options makes up such a smaller percentage, but they're building it up.
Well, yeah, and like they literally just acquired Enjoy like a few months ago, and
this is also something. If you look at Philip Morris, who are really successful with IQOS, and then British American Tobacco is kind of catching up, even though they do it more with vaping. But if Philip Morris is a example, then you have kind of an idea where British American Tobacco might be heading. I think Philip Morris is roughly 50-50 smoking and new categories right now on a revenue basis. So it's kind of insane.
There are also multiple like illegal disposable knockoff products that are like they're actually against the law to be sold, that are actually cutting into their market share because they're so widespread.
Yeah. And because they sell these weird flavors that are actually banned.
Yeah. So like what they did, the regulators, they banned, probably Lena Khan. They banned flavored, like a lot of the good, like the flavored vapes that people like. And so the big companies that are publicly traded, of course, follow the rules and don't, distribute those flavors anymore. But the little knockoff guys that like don't care about the laws, and they'll just keep going until they're basically forced out of business, either by, regulators who seem not to be enforcing it on those smaller companies, or Altria had said something about even like taking them to court and doing cease and desists and stuff to get them to stop with the knockoff products. So I think if they actually could just get the market share for vaping, I think it will be a much bigger piece of the revenue. Just, gaming it out in my head there.
I'm bullish on tobacco because it will send more people to the hospital, which helps me with MPW.
Yeah. It's full circle on this
on the channel. Full circle.
Exactly. I invest in both ends. You could say I'm high winning.
And hopefully at the MPW hospitals, they're using Visa credit cards. They're taking out some debt there. Hopefully they're using some Berkshire Hathaway banks. You never know. It's full circle here on the channel. All right, everybody, we're around the 1 hour mark. So I'll give the 5-minute warning, I like to call it. Any last comments, questions, concerns for me, Fiscal, or Digital? Any of us. We have to answer it. We're here.
It's required.
It was an interesting time having viewer call-ins. We got a troll call and we got an actual call.
Yeah,
interesting.
As of yet, I could still blow it, but
I spoke too soon.
Exactly.
This last 5 minutes, I'm gonna be sweating more than I was when I was on the bench press today.
Exactly.
See, this is just legendary stuff. I'm wearing my Do Dividend Socks Not Drug shirt when I'm listening. You could do a lot of things in this shirt.
By the way, Ryan, the guy that was my workout partner today, he told me he was interested in ordering one of these because it made me look so swole.
He probably saw the close effects of the strength increase too. I'm sure he saw once you went in the locker room, you put the tank on. Started.
Here's the funny thing. He's like 13 years younger than me, and like he was pretty bummed out that an old fart like me can still.
I'm telling you guys, I hit 205 yesterday, and I did it after a hard set, so I think 225 could be coming soon in the Real Man's Investing shirt.
Wow. Okay. Oh, here's a real one.
Oh,
Thoughts on love.
Is that a ticker symbol or?
No. I think.
Okay. Gerardo asked the good questions too. I did an emergency live the other night, and Gerardo came on. We were answering some difficult questions.
Yeah, this is a deep topic.
Let's build that viewer connection, Fiscal. We got to milk them for memberships coming up soon.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a interesting feeling, I suppose, but yeah, I'll say it's complicated. It's very
complicated. Not laugh, yeah.
We just lost a couple of viewers dropped off when I said it's complicated. Yeah, it's very complicated. Anybody else have some thoughts on this one?
All I gotta say,
I have my son is 10 years old. For me,
a father.
Yeah, but the topic is done, so I'm good with this one.
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's all you need. That's all you need is family.
That's
all I gotta say, Fiscal, I got 99 problems, and a bitch ain't one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean that pretty much. I mean,
we had out of the trash can. Pulled that Starbucks out of the trash can for that one. You better all smash the like button.
Okay. Well, he got more specific.
Have you guys been in love? Have you ever got a dividend from Starbucks this week? That's all I gotta say. Have you seen Target go to 160? Go back into the green?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely have.
Wow, mentors. We're mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we gotta start promoting this, and I'm gonna leave it off at this, everybody. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks, Shamir. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Shamir. We appreciate it. We always know when you got the original hostess joke, that was probably the first dirty joke on the Cash Flow Kings live. Always remember it. All right. Digitail, you want to promote anything, pump anything? You have a shout out?
No. It was really nice seeing you guys like in person, quote unquote.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Keep grinding.
Oh, we will.
It was very nice. Very nice having this kind of a little fireside chat with you, man. Look forward to continuing it in the Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully do more of these, more trolls. It'd be fun. Whatever.
we could do a troll compilation at the end of the year.
The Yield Max people didn't come on.
Yeah. I'm just. Then you have to wait for the MPW pump to like do the curb your MPW troll meme. Yeah, to make the full circle.
All right.
Everything's full circle on this channel.
It is definitely. All right. Thank you all for watching. Keep an eye out tomorrow for the weekly recap at 12 p.m. Eastern. It will be up there, showing some big dividends this week and some big buys, sells maybe. Thank you all for watching. Do dividend stocks, not drugs. And always remember, cash flow is king. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.